I keep making these recordings and they're too long, and then I just feel discouraged from posting them because I just can't be bothered with these long ass videos anymore, you know? It's just like when I start talking, it's like I it's like a whole bunch of shit that I never plan on talking about gets thrown in the mixture, and I'm like, shit. Oh, so here goes again. So I realized I never there was some stuff that I missed out on. I didn't get to touch on in the last recording, and um some other stuff that I did touch on, but I didn't go in depth. So here fucking goes. So the whole reason why I decided to do another video in regards to the obvious fact that Rihanna does not like Jamaicans is I saw a video posted on a social media platform. I didn't even know that Rihanna opened Fenty stores in several Caribbean islands. It was just recently I heard about that, and apparently about 8 Caribbean islands, if I'm not mistaken, and uh, none of them included Jamaica. Okay, so first let me just say this: my country, folks, got their toxic traits and habits, right? And so does every motherfucking body else. Let's just get that clear. And what I noticed with a lot of these countries out there, the people from these countries, they are just so hypocritical. They like bashing people from other nationalities, even with the whole race thing. You have some people from some ethnic groups, not everybody from these like ethnic groups do this type of shit, but they tend to like paint other races or particular races a certain way. And it's really small minded and low vibrational um mindset people who do stuff like this, because we're all one people, not literally one, because the high vibrational folks ain't one with the low vibrational folks. But the point is, we're all spiritual beings having a human fucking experience. That's the point. Some of us are older souls than others, but the point still is we all motherfucking spiritual beings having human experiences. That's the oneness that I am referring to. Okay? And so for me, ethnicity means nothing, because I have seen and accepted that you got good and bad motherfuckers, low and high vibrational frequency motherfuckers in every race. Okay? And every race got their good and bad pathologies. Okay? I know this. The same with genders. Like you got some women, their pathology is to say, oh, men, basically all men. And I know that some of them do say men, but they mean the majority, because the majority rules, and they don't literally mean all men. But there are some women out there who literally go with the notion that, and spreads the notion that all men are dogs and assholes and pieces of shit. And that's not true. As wow, as this, you have men who be doing the same thing to the female gender. And those are what we call arrogant, ignorant, low vibrational idiots. Okay? Period. Fools. They're fucking fools. Okay? And you a fool and an idiot when you allow your emotion, because emotions, they that's a feminine energy, yang, and the feminine energy is negative. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but the men, masculine energy, not saying men, masculine, feminine energy. Not all men are masculine, and not all women are feminine. Let's get that out of the way. So when I say masculine and feminine, I don't mean man and woman. Okay? And I'm not going to talk about how it should be and how it should have been and blah, 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 that the men should be masculine, women should be feminine. Your natal chart dictates that shit, because you got women who are the divine masculines and men who are divine feminines. I'm not going to get into that, because that's why my videos always be fucking long. Because I keep like deviating off what I initially want to talk about. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is, emotions are good, but let's not forget they carry a negative charge. The men, they are fire and air. Sorry, the masculine energy is fire and air. Assertiveness, intellect. Okay, it's head over heart, head over emotions, logics over emotions, head over heart. Okay, woman rule pentacles, the feminine energy, I should say. Sorry, I keep mixing it up. It's a difference right there. Like I said, the feminine energy represents the pentacles and the as earth signs and the water signs, pentacles and the cups. So there is a form of practicality to the feminine energy, but because there is the emotional aspect of it, uh, that creates a form of contradiction, which is why some men tend to say that women who are actually feminine tend to not know what they really fucking want. Do they want money or do they want love? Okay, and they're like opposites when you think about it within the different energy fields, the yin and the yang, because logics, intellects, which is the which can coincide with the pentacles. Okay, lot in terms of the logics, um but comparing that with fire energy, there's not much of logics where fire is concerned, because the fire without the air, without the logics, is just arrogance. You're moving without a cause and aim. But let's get back to the feminine energy, the yang. So the feminine, I still feel like I'm saying more than I actually intended to. Lord help me, Spirit help me. So, but let's talk about the pentacles being what they really are: wealth, the material world. The cups are opposite to that. And a lot of times you have people either wanting wealth or love. They're on either end of that spectrum. And you rarely find people in the middle at a balanced point along that spectrum, right? So, yeah, we should. I mean, tarot is about balance. Astrology is about balance. Numerology is about balance. But it's finding that balance, which first you got to be enlightened, illuminated. And that's why the Illuminates, which forms the Illuminati, are the chosen ones, the leaders, okay? Because we know the right amount of pentacles to add to a situation, the right amount of cups, the right amount of air, the right amount of fire. So none of these elements are outdoing the other. And then we find ourselves right there in the middle of all four, within the ethers, the spirit, the crown chakra, heavily, beautifully activated. And when I say heavily, I don't mean more than necessary. I mean obviously, plainly, obviously. That sounds like redundancy. Activated. There's no doubt, okay, that your crown is activated. You are enlightened. So
as a woman, yes, you are in love. As a feminine energy, I should say, yes, you are in love, and you're about nurturing and caring and being supportive in spite of, despite of, but you should also seek for financial, material stability, in other words. So you're not gonna find yourself in love with a nigga and on ambitious nigga. Y'all know, should know by now, when I say nigga, it's not in reference to a particular ethnic group. I'm talking about the masculine energy. I'm not gonna say men. I'm talking about the masculine energy, the motherfucking masculine. That's just how I talk sometimes. Okay? So, and you gotta also pull from the yin energy, which is the masculine, the logics, the intellect, which is air. So it can't be a dumb motherfucker. Because the masculine energy, if it is to lead, that motherfucker better have some sense. So there gotta be air. So you also tapped in to the yin as a feminine energy. Because every yin has a yang in its center. And every yang got a yin in its center. That's the fucking balance. So the earth and the water got the air and the fire. And the air and the fire got the earth and the water. You feel what I'm trying to say? Balance of all four elements. You create a beautiful balance. The ethos. Because all four of them motherfuckers. All bad. Okay? Dust particles, air, the wind itself, dust particles, earth, the wind itself, air, the heat, fire, and the water particles, water vapors. Ugh, the water. So yeah, and that nigga better have fire in him too, which is a life force, because he can't just be saying the right things. God, the plans and the dough, and and the the love or the desire, which is the water, to do shit, and ain't got no drive, no fire, no passion. Because passion is fire, the desire is water. You gotta have that drive, that assertiveness, that pushes everything into motion. Anyways, let's get back to what the fuck what the point of this video is about. So, yeah. Now, y'all noticed that the only time Rihanna came to Jamaica was in the earlier point of her career, and I mean, like, it's really distasteful how obvious it is that she thinks that, so by supporting Jamaica, like other artists do, is gonna take from her culture, take from the um, attention um, that would otherwise be received by her culture, her country. And that's some bad mind kind of mentality, you know? I mean, she is from the Caribbean, and literally she's the only, even bad mind Jay-Z, who will carry belly for Jamaica, because Jamaicans are great. Plus, Sean Paul, Beyonce had a thing for Sean Paul, and he's jealous. He's one ugly ass motherfucker, Jay-Z, I mean. And here comes this fly ass uh, island boy, island man. That just like, there was no nigga in the whole entire United States of America that made that nigga felt hot and bothered and worried about losing the woman he bought. But an island nigga made him feel that way. And the thing is why, I said this in the prior recording, Jamaica is a diverse culture. I think we are the most diverse and mixed culture than any other Caribbean island. Like, we mix with every fucking race and ethnicity on the face of this planet. And I'm not talking about through neutralization or marriage. I'm talking about you got Caucasian Jamaicans. Jamaicans were Caucasian in heritage, in ancestry, but they were born here. I'm not talking married into the culture or migrated here and over a period of time acquired citizenship, which is neutralization. Okay? We are a diverse motherfucker. Okay? We got Indian Jamaicans. We got West Indian Jamaicans, South East Indian Jamaicans. We got Asian Jamaicans. We got, and I'm talking about motherfuckers born here. Like I said, we got Hispanic Jamaicans. We got um, Caucasian Jamaicans. We got um, African Jamaicans. We got an amalgamation of all the motherfuckers Jamaicans. And the truth is, there's no Jamaican that's a purebred African unless that motherfucker migrated from Africa here and attained Jamaican citizenship through neutralization or marriage, or their mama and their daddy did, or their grandpa and grandma did, and you know, maybe their mom, you know, is purebred African, and you know, her mom and dad were purebred African, and she decided to uh, um, get with somebody else who's also purebred African in Jamaica or one in Africa and decide to bring that motherfucker here. Okay, which then you wouldn't really call that a purebred Jamaican. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is majority of Jamaican population is not pure African. We are mixed with every fucking shit out there. We are an amalgamation of all races, and therefore, like I said in the previous recording, our second motto, um, what the fuck? Something just really, really struck me. I'm like, why? I mean, what did I say was the second motto again? Because out of many one people, that is our motto here. Out of many one people, that's actually our motto. I don't know why I had my high school motto in mind. Was there something else that I stated to be oh, look about with Talawa. That's what I said is our second motto. But our main motto, our first motto is out of many one. That is our motto as Jamaicans. And go figure, that pretty much tells you the fuck you gonna see when you come here. You gonna see diversity. Okay? A lot of us, even dark skinned ones, you know, you see almond shaped eyes, you see straight nose. Those are not African features. I mean, well, the people from, I think, Ethiopia and Egypt, I think they got straight nose. But those are like the only two African countries that I can pinpoint that has those Caucasian, and maybe I guess we shouldn't even call it Caucasian features. Then again, should we? And then we don't really know the history of the Egyptians and the Ethiopians, because maybe somewhere along way down history, um, other Africans bred with Caucasians. I think back then in the Bible they call them Edomites, and maybe that's what brought about the Ethiopians and Egyptians, because if you look at their hair texture, and facial features, physique, they're just like completely different from the rest of Africa, like Nigeria and so. But when I say African features, I'm talking excluding the Ethiopians and the Egyptians, okay? Excluding those. Talking about the rest of Africa. And we know that the transatlantic slaves didn't come from Egypt, nor did they come from Ethiopia. Okay? They came from West Africa. Okay? And these Africans have broad nose. I think they got big foreheads. Yeah, big foreheads, broad, flat nose, um, wide faces, and they definitely do not have almond shaped eyes, and they do not have colored eyes. Okay? And they're dark, very dark pigmented. A lot of melanin is in them motherfuckers. So when you come to Jamaica, yeah, you will see some of those features in some Jamaicans. And I'm gonna say to you that even though you may see them features in some Jamaicans, you would be shocked to discover that them Jamaicans still got Caucasian, Indian, Asian, and all kinds of other ethnicity in their ancestry. Okay, so we are a diverse set of motherfuckers. There are a lot of light skinned people here. I'm not talk the bleachers them. Okay, you come across a light skinned person, they got a broad nose, big forehead. Um, the mere fact that they are so light pigmented tells you that they're not just they don't just have African ancestry. You may come across a dark skinned Jamaican. They have really straight, slim nose. They may not have a protruding forehead, a bulge or a big forehead. They may have a straight face, oval shaped face, and so on and so forth. In certain curl patterns to their hair. It may still look 4C, but certain curl patterns to their hair. And that tells you that that motherfucker, that bitch, is mixed. There's some other ethnicity in that lineage other than African. So that goes back to the main motto, out of many one motherfuckers, meaning out of many one people. Okay? Now let's get back to the whole Rihanna thing. Because I remember, I think she came to Jamaica just twice in her earlier career. A lot of these motherfuckers, they just try to use Jamaica to boost their careers, and when they get to a certain level, it's like they don't them remember. Them members that we put them on and set the trend. Is it me? You know? Um they just use the Jamaican culture for clout. Even when that bitch was like, I think she sang one of Bob Marley's song on Oprah Winfrey and talked about Bob Marley and Jamaican culture. That bitch talked about Jamaican culture more than she talked about her own culture. But yet, you do not see the appreciation of the Jamaican culture in anything that she does. She just uses the Jamaican culture for monetary gains. Even when she like did that video for Rude Boy, I mean, even the song itself, not that she wrote the song. I think maybe some Jamaican was involved in that song, in the writing of that song, or someone heavily influenced by Jamaican culture. But the way in which they orchestrated that video, and she was in that mesh Rasta Marina, the the green, gold, and red, the red, green, and gold, that was capitalizing off of Jamaican culture because Rastafarianism began here. Reggae music is from here. Dancehall music is from here. We birthed them motherfuckers. And to those dumbass motherfuckers out there who be talking about uh reggae and dancehall came from Africa, go and fuck yourselves and suck your cocks. You just looking for, yeah, what? I mean, like, Jamaica is so small. We look about with Tyla, we so small, and these big ass motherfucking idiots from these big ass motherfucking countries are always trying to ride our dicks. We a special race of motherfuckers. Like, we savage as fuck. And they gave us the crime capital. They labeled us the crime capital of the world. And that shit ain't right when I think about it. Because we don't got serial killers here. Anytime a motherfucker fuck a motherfucker up in this motherfucker, that motherfucker fucked with that motherfucker. I'm not saying that motherfuckers don't fuck up motherfuckers out of bad mind, hatred, jealousy, and just envy overall. But majority of the time, that motherfucker fucked with the wrong motherfucker. Not all the time, but majority of the time. But the good thing is, we don't got serial killers here. We don't got crazy motherfuckers who just get up one day and just decide that they just gonna kill people. Not for money, not because they fucked with them or their people, but they just want to kill. We don't have them motherfuckers here. Serial killers? Oh, come on. I mean, like, I spoke about this on another channel that I have. Karma, different types of karma. You got even geographical karma. Even Earth, we got planetary karma. Earth God, it's karma. Humanity is a part of that. Dealing with humanity and humanity being dealt with. Yeah, there are planetary karmas. But there are geographical karmas. You got family karma, geographical karma, occupational karma. I mean, people from a certain occupation undergo a certain stigma, blah, 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 and hardship, blah, blah, because they're in that field, that, occupation. But in terms of geographical karma, I feel like that's dependent upon numerology, longitude and latitude, where the country, the island is located. And that affects the frequency of the inhabitants, okay, of that country. Because you'll have a motherfucker who's not from that country who migrates and start to that country and start living there. Just all of a sudden start acting like the motherfuckers from that island or that country. And, develops or acquires the karma of that place because they take on the citizenship of that place. You got Jamaicans who travel to first world countries and migrate there, live there, becoming serial killers. That motherfuckers never did them shit in Jamaica. You don't got motherfuckers doing them shit here. But it's because they migrated to them locations, they took on this citizenship of them places. They start acting under certain frequencies that them places are under. Okay, if that, and that you should understand that. So she came here when her career was just starting out. She needed to ride her dick, to boost her career. And the second time was with Chris Brown, when she was with Chris Brown. And no doubt, I'm going to tell you, it was Chris Brown's idea that they vacation in Jamaica. Because and that's why a lot of motherfuckers from Caribbean islands, we've got a love and hate relationship with other Caribbean islands here. You got motherfuckers who just love us because we dope from other Caribbean islands. But you got them motherfuckers who hate us to guts for the sad reason, because we dope. and they try to make it about seem as though it's about something. It is about something else, and it's not. It's just because we don't. So, and influential. It's not our fault. But don't blame us for that shit. For us being fly. No, don't do that. Okay. And so, um, a lot of people, when they thought about the Caribbean, even now, the only or the first island that comes or country that comes to mind is Jamaica. In spite of there being a Rihanna, you know, Jay-Z was trying to create some competition where there was none. In spite of her doing the most to be to try to surpass Bob Marley's fame and the fame of all the greats that came from the Caribbean, mostly, if not all, from Jamaica, being sprung from Jamaica. It didn't work because we still the flyest. I was on a TikTok account the other day. The name of that TikTok account is some Caribbean shit, and it's like a gossip TikTok page, Caribbean gossip TikTok page. And guess what? 99% of those videos are Jamaicans. I mean, like, they're like funny videos and they're like videos, following up, Caribbean celebrities. But guess what? 99% of them videos are Jamaican videos. So is it really a Caribbean, TikTok gossip page? Or is it a Jamaican TikTok gossip page? And when you look at a lot of these Caribbean this and Caribbean that, when you look, majority of their contents are Jamaican. Let's just separate Jamaica from the Caribbean. How about that? Or separate the other islands in the Caribbean from the Caribbean, and so that Jamaica just be repping the Caribbean only. Be the only island in the Caribbean because, like, come on. These other islands are not pulling their weight. And I'm not talking about in terms of drama and shit. I mean in terms of talent and influence and excitement and passion and interest. It's like these other islands, they are just like zombies. They're fucking dead. Like, nothing's happening. I mean, shit's happening, but they hide a lot of the shit that's happening. And that's another reason why I love my island, because we don't hide shit. We don't cover up or toxic traits and the bullshit that goes on here. We put everybody and everything on blast, even our own fucking selves. We put on blast. But you got these first world countries and these other Caribbean islands. Everybody's like brushing everything under the carpet. Fuck you, motherfuckers. You're nothing but fucking hypocrites. It's not that you got clean and squeaky records. You wanna just fucking, and just wanna make it seem as though your countries are perfect. And any sensible, high vibrational motherfucker know that there's no place on this fucking planet that is perfect. As long as motherfucking human beings live at that place, it ain't perfect. No, but they labeled Jamaica as a crime capital because we report all the murders that take place here, all the shit that goes on here. We don't sweep anything under the carpet like the other countries do. But if night should ever blood clot done to death, see what's happening right now in the US of A? Diddy being exposed because of, after all, we are in the age of Aquarius, the age of enlightenment, the truth, and sudden judgment. Jay-Z and Beyonce are next, and Rihanna. All the shit that she did to get to where she's at right now. And the people in her country are going to feel so ashamed that they gave her ambassador, that they put her up on such a high pedestal, or any pedestal for that matter. Okay, the motherfuckers who hated her from the get-go, whether y'all say that they're haters, because I thought they were just haters too initially, Initially, when she just came out, she's a cunt. And good for nothing cunt and bitch who been hating on my island because she wasn't born here. It was like that saying, when Fox can't get the grip, him say it sawa. It's like a bitch wasn't born here, so she hates on our culture. We fly, we dope, we a magical set of people. And instead of appreciating us like other people, like people who clean hearted and who know how to give people their flowers, you choose to shade us and hate on us, shade anybody who got anything to do with Jamaicans. You notice how she and Nicki Minaj are close friends? Y'all don't realize there's some shading shit going on because, like, ever since, I don't know if it's since they fell apart, and bet you gonna bet this bitch gonna make it seem like she and Nicki Minaj are still good. Like when I posted about the distance between her and her uh, then bestie Melissa Ford, and how and why they um, grew apart. All of a sudden, she had this fashion show, and Melissa Ford was there and up in front with her. You got to pay attention to these, not coincidences. They're signs, omens, synchronicities. There are no such things as coincidences. And y'all need to wake up, smell the stench, and along with the stench, there are sweet aromas to experience and smell. It's the balance of life. Stop wanting and hoping for everything to be all peaches and cream, because the world ain't like that. Human beings have free will. Some choose to be assholes and cunts, and some choose to be high vibrational beings, earth angels. And you gotta wake up to the fact of that. Stop allowing yourselves to be constantly put back to sleep. You're gonna take the red pill or the blue pill. I don't remember which one is the Matrix and which is the real world. I'm not gonna play on the colors, but the point is, choose that motherfucking pill that's gonna wake your ass up and keep your ass in the real world. Okay? Because ignorance is not bliss. And no matter how hard you try to hide and cover the truth, that shit gonna burn through shit and cause a huge motherfucking forest global fire. The more you try to cover the truth and hide that shit. Can you hide the truth under a bushel? No. I learned that in in Christianity. You cannot hide the light. Eventually it's gonna burn through. It's gonna burn through, and when you try to hide it, you're gonna create more harm than good, because then you're gonna cause a fire, and that's gonna traumatize a lot of people, including your fucking selves. Wake up to the reality that these people who are trying to who've been trying to create the illusion that they are Illuminates, Illuminati, and try to create contradiction and confusion by, I mean, like, they do things to create that uh, perception, but they say otherwise with their mouth, as though it's a bad thing and they're not a part of it, but they're confusing you with the shit that they do to make you think that they're a part of it. Like, there's this secret society that runs the world and they're a part of it, but it's secret, so they cannot admit to being part of it. Shut the fuck up. The Illuminati is real, but these cunts, these whores, and when I say whores, I mean the man and the woman. They're not the Illuminates. The Illuminate motherfuckers, think about that fucking word. Google that word. Research that word. Look that word up in their fucking Dictionary. Illuminati comes from illuminate, to be illuminated. What does being illuminated mean? It means to come into light, into the light. What is the light? The light is truth. Ain't nothing morbid and wicked about that. There is a lot of morbid and wicked ass shit about them motherfuckers who are pretending to be the Illuminati. And what does that tell you? Do the math. They are not the Illuminati. The Illuminati, they hold esoteric knowledge. That's knowledge that's hidden. It's the truth, which is light, but it's not known to many. It's not known to the majority of people. Because this knowledge, esoteric knowledge, is powerful, it's magical. And to whom much is given, much is expected. And we can't expect much from a lot of people. Therefore, much ain't given to them. Like certain knowledge ain't for them. And Spirit is the one who dispenses this esoteric knowledge. Because Spirit knows the heart of each and every motherfucker and the mind, then the soul, the essence, the source and fiber of their beings. And knows that that motherfucker ain't deserving of knowing certain things, ain't deserving of knowing such things, because they wicked as hell, and they gonna use that to destroy people and to hurt a lot of people. And so what? The spirits, they hide esoteric knowledge, the truth, certain truth, from certain motherfuckers, majority motherfuckers. And that's why you call esoteric knowledge hidden truth. It's not hidden from everybody. It's hidden from most people, but not every people. There's a sect, a group. What do you want to call it? The 144,000? Or not? Could be less or more. But the knowledge is revealed to that group, that sect, the sect that is the Illuminati. These motherfuckers pretending to be who they're not, they want to know these secrets. They will never know. And they may search out spiritualists globally, but guess what? The ones who are willing to sell knowledge, the spirits ain't revealing certain shit to them. They will only know so much and no more. You think the keys to the universe, or the keys to the universe, you think spirit's gonna give that to just about any motherfucker? No. That gonna be given to a motherfucker who you cannot intimidate, who will rather die than tell a motherfucker certain things. Because guess what? That motherfucker, that intuitive, that illuminate is gifted with the vision of sight, clear audience, clairvoyance, clear cognizance, clear sentience. We know, we feel, we see, and we hear that you ain't no good. So you could come, we ain't faced by money. We're not lovers of money. We use money. Money is our slave. Money is our bitch. We ain't the bitch of money. Okay? And so therefore you can't come with trillions of dollars or your whole life savings or an infinite amount of money to buy what we know, what Spirit revealed to us, what Spirit showed us. No. And don't you think that the spirits knew all of that before dispensing such knowledge to us? Why the fuck do you think the spirits dispensed such knowledge to us? Think with your small brains and try to get it to expand a little bit. Because for the spirits, There's no past, present, or future. I've been telling motherfuckers this. There is just time. The past is connected to the present and the future. They are just it's just one continuum. Get that in your skulls. Get that in your brains. And try to resuscitate your dead brains, your dead heads. And so for spirit, everything is just right there. As though there are no differences between them. It's like they're just there. They just exist on one platter. And so the future spirit ain't like, okay, let me see what's gonna happen in the future. Spirit sees what's gonna happen. Spirit sees the beginning, the middle, and the end. Everything is just right there. For us, those are sectored into dimensions because of what our 3D bodies can counteract with and cope with. Okay? So, when I broke out Jamaica, Jamaican people got cash, got money for years, for days. Regardless of them saying Jamaica's poverty level is very high. Fuck that shit. That's not true. We have money. A peer artist and star come from Jamaica. And we the most sought after of all these Caribbean islands. Of the whole black diasporas. Our people even giving a lot of these international artists a run for their money. A lot of Jamaicans are international artists. A lot of Jamaicans have been set so firmly where in which they don't even gotta work. They just be living off of family now. Cause they good like that. We good like that. So it could never be that a bitch thinks that Jamaicans can't afford her shit. Why she didn't put a Fenty store here. But guess what? We don't want, or at least I'm speaking for myself, I don't want that shit here. Because, you know, her island, Barbados, is going to suffer terribly. I mean, because of the shit that she's done. And the fact, too, that he was given some influential position in their country, named streets after her. She's apparently an ambassador there. I think she was given some other award. So you got to be careful of the people who represent you in your career, from a national level. Yeah, that can fuck a country up. A lot of, I mean, her country are gonna distance them fucking selves from her. And I guess that's why I had that vision years ago of her vacationing in Jamaica. I mean, she looked so dark skinned. And I want to touch on that too. Um, I like it's like people knew who she was, but nobody gave a fuck. It's like nobody was into her. And now everything is making sense, and I see what's going on. That's why she launched her makeup line and these fragrances and her fashion line. And it's the same what Beyonce and Jay-Z they're doing. They're trying to secure as much money as possible because they know their time is up on the Wheel of Fortune, and they know that they're fucked. Cartel free, isn't it? They couldn't use him as the scapegoat. We're boss free. And within that said instance, like everything is just collapsing for Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna. You're gonna see all of what I'm saying manifest. I mean, I already predicted Diddy's downfall. That was like about 2 years ago, or was that early last year? It was ever since I saw him saying he's working on some project with Shen. I was like, okay. I realized that bitch got some bad karma, and his life is gonna go to shit. Guys, go and scroll down on my thing. I literally call this stuff that is his life is gonna get fucked up. I think I even mentioned too that don't be surprised that the truth starts coming out that he was actually involved in Tupac's and Biggie's murders. I think I said that too. I don't know if I mentioned Biggie, but I know for a fact I said it. I think I said it about Tupac. Yeah. So you know that everything else that I'm saying is true. As for that nigga ASAP Rocky, that nigga just trying to secure as much money as he can before shit hits the fan. You know, he don't like them kids. That motherfucker, like I can literally tell when a motherfucker is faking. He thinks them kids that bitch gave him are ugly as fuck. They ain't his kids, but like, I mean, nigga is like these, like in his mind, cause we know he's vain and shit. He don't like African features, and them kids only got African features. So I know he is really shallow. Like if you look at his natal chart, if you understood astrology, like I don't even have to look at him and try to read him to know what he thinks about them kids. Just his natal chart tells me he's shallow as fuck. He's shallow as fuck. But he's there, just trying to secure his bag and trying to get as much clout as possible because like a lot of people still don't know that nigga. Even though he supposedly knocked that bitch up twice. A lot of people still don't know about him. But he's just trying to, get as much clout as possible because he's a clout chaser. And he's trying to secure the bag as much as possible, as much as he can scrape for himself. He is doing that, best believe that. And guys, you can take my word to the bank. You can bet on it. But if you bet on it and you win money off of my predictions, you gotta pay me. And if you don't pay me, motherfucker, you hear my voice changing, you hear that little hoarseness. If you don't pay me, you hear that hoarseness in my voice? If you don't fucking pay me, that money is just gonna blow out of your hands like dust on a windy motherfucking day with your hand wide open. Trust and believe that too is gonna happen if you don't pay me for my predictions. If you ever should bet, make any bets, and win them bets, you owe me, bitch. Bitch ass. Let's touch on the skin complexion. I saw some videos on YouTube. I think before I go there, I want to touch on this. I made a brief mention that Jay-Z most likely, that Beyonce, that they should watch him and that kid. I'm not even going to say that Beyonce should watch him because she is down with a lot of the fuckery. But I was like, I don't be that nigga. that nigga, I wouldn't be surprised if he molested his own kids. I would not be fucking surprised if he molests his own kids. Blue Ivy and the other ones, whatever their fucking names are. Okay? I would literally not be surprised. And I was supposed to mention that in the previous recording, but what the fuck happened, guys? I'm making some breakfast, but I don't know what to cook. Um, but I forgot to mention it, and I keep making these recordings, and I'm like, oh damn, these recordings are too fucking long. And I'm like, no fucking way, no fucking way. I was like, no fucking way. I am. I can't do these long ass. Oh, I'm gonna use this. Oh no. Okay. No. I wonder if I use that since it's good. Um. And I forgot. And I forgot. And it was like a couple days ago. I saw after that video. Like a couple days ago, I saw there's some of that there. I'll definitely make that fix there. I saw like, oh yeah, there's some. Yay! Ew! Not this type. I'll use that, but I'm not going for that. Maybe tomorrow I use some of that. But why the fuck did they buy that flavor? It's so gross. It's so fucking gross. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna taste good. I was like, fuck. It was like a sign and omen that I'm right. Because I said it like, oh yeah, just remember I didn't say what it is that I saw. R. Kelly, there's a video of R. Kelly's, and Kelly's, what's that little frying R. Kelly's daughter came out, and said that he molested her when she was a kid. Oh my god. Guys. And sad time I remembered that I was supposed to make mention of actually I did mention it. So I don't think that need elaboration. I don't think that needed any form of elaboration. I don't think that needed any form of elaboration. I mentioned it, and that was that. And yeah, I don't think I needed to elaborate on that. But that just goes to show you that these pedophiles, these perverted men in the industry, that they're not just perverting other people's kids, but they're also perverting their own fucking kids. They are perverting their own fucking kids. You get me? So I wouldn't be surprised. Don't be surprised, guys, to find out that he's been doing that shit to Blue Ivy. He's doing or he's about to start doing that shit. Because like they have no limits. When you're low vibrational, you have no limits. You do not set limits. You don't know nothing about limits. So you're not gonna be like, oh, she's my daughter. I'm not gonna be like her. Oh fuck no. You definitely put your own kid. Definitely. 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 So yeah, that's pretty much what I forgot to say and make mention of. So don't be surprised to discover that he's been molesting Blue Ivy and the others and shit like that. Um, what did I want to talk about? Okay, so I wanted to touch on. Okay, so you have these light skinned chicks with this entitled, holier than thou. Um, oh, this really what do you call it this really this really entitled mentality, you know. And oh, you know, like Rihanna, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj. I mean, she's my girl. I love Nicki Minaj. But a lot of the entitled energy that they project is because of their light skinness. So Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Tyla. Hope you guys can hear me because I'm moving around in the kitchen. Yeah, and it's just really obnoxious because I mean, like, for me, where men are concerned, and I think quality men are like this, as how I am. I like a man who's attractive, but he doesn't uh, play the attractive card. He doesn't. He's not. He's not cocky because he's attractive. You know. You know. He's not cocky at all. I mean, I like a man who is confident, but there's a difference between confidence and cockiness. I want you guys to get that and to understand that. Okay, there is a big difference. Likewise, there's a big difference between a woman who's cocky and a woman who is confident. And why a lot of these women are so cocky is because in their minds, society, these men, these low vibrational, selfie in dark skinned black men, give them a lot of attention because they hate their dark skin. And so they develop this complex in which they think that they're all that because they're the preference. And the truth is, somebody who does not love themselves does not have a preference because, first and foremost, they don't even know themselves to know what it is they prefer. I'm telling you. Like I was watching this video on this woman's YouTube channel. I think her channel's name is TKO something of that sort. And there's this Caucasian woman who did this recording, this video, and she was in the car with her ex's ex, who apparently was a dark skinned black woman. I don't remember if she was dark skinned. Well, maybe medium term. And apparently these men, like I've been telling women all along, they do not have preferences. They are just spoiled with little brats. That's just what the fuck they are, you know? And the woman was pretty much saying that in the video. And she was like, oh, it's over an hour again. She was like,